Could be. Gina's home. You are. Yeah, okay, all right. Hello, everybody. It's Wednesday, July 10th, 2024, at 1 o'clock. Call this meeting to order, roll call. I'm gonna start, over here, so Chris Bridges.
Here.
Bill Corick.
Here.
Shelley Johnson. Here. Becky Carrier.
Here.
Jeff Byerly.
Here.
And Connie Clifford, our new member. Welcome. And then I have Richard Wills, council liaison here. I don't see anybody from Public Works. I don't know if there's anybody
They're with her today.
Okay, that's totally fine. There's no screen on the TV, so sometimes I can see. So anyway. All right, I need an approval for the meeting agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Need a second. All in favor? Approval of the minutes from the June 12th meeting. Motion to approve.
Make that motion.
Need a second.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, thank you. Announcement, Connie Clifford, our new Parks Board member, welcome. I'm just gonna make a really brief announcement. The audio last time, was shoddy, and so it was hard to hear when you were live, or even just watching the recording. So if we could just remember to speak up when we're talking so the owl can catch our voices and the people that are zooming in can hear us. Just a reminder. And then Sarah just let us know that there's some new equipment that's coming that'll probably be here in the next month or 2, 3, I don't know. But anyway, so there's some new audio equipment coming, so we'll look forward to that. Maybe we won't have to shout. All right, so public communications, the board is providing an opportunity for public comments. Anything related to the Parks Board. We have 3 minutes, and I always start on Zoom, and I see Vita. Hi, I haven't seen you in a while. Vita, do you have a public comment?
Hi, Kristen. Thank you. Yeah, I missed last week, last month rather. Sorry about that. I don't have a comment today. Thank you.
Great. And then in the room, I see 2 people, so no, that's okay. Gina, do you have a comment right now?
I'll wait till the end.
That's fine, okay. Old business, the ARPA Parks Board request, walking path, the 2 of us, so Jeff Byerly, Shelley Johnson, myself, went out to Schmidt Park and walked a new path. We just did an out exterior path. I think the total was about 1,350 linear feet. I did send that off to Becky Leach to ask her to get some bids for that. So let's wait for that to come back. Any questions about the walking path? Okay.
Actually,
Yeah.
There's a concern about that one area that's. I think the grade, there is some concern. Oh,
I think that we walk. Certainly.
so there's no issues as far
No,
as.
there's a little bit of grade, I guess, it's a dip to the boat launch
Right, yeah.
area, but it's very, there's no good.
Oh,
I think volunteers could do. That may do.
Yeah. Yep. Anything else?
that's it.
Park map flyers, I'm really glad to tell you that they're actually officially done. So, and I've been out this morning and spent 2.5 hours distributing them to the motels and hotels around town, which I can get at. So, I did have some for those that want to take a look. They're just here. I brought a few of them in. But I will tell you that the motels and hotels were really excited to get that. It was almost like I was giving them $50,000 cash. They're so excited. These are amazing. These are great. So, hopefully it's really successful. LTAC, the money was given to us by LTAC, the foundation by LTAC. We got 10,000 flyers, and once we go through those flyers, that's it. LTAC. So that this is just seed money. So hopefully if they're successful, maybe we be able to talk the city into council to funding needs for the future for the motels and hotels? No. We'll see. Anybody have any questions about that?
Did anybody ever decide if we were getting data from these?
I asked the question and I asked Nicole because Nicole is the one that helped, link the QR code to the, and she's like, I don't know how to do that. So I am not technology at all. Like,
We wanted to find that out because that would be a huge
Yes.
benefit to say, hey, you know, folks are scanning this. X number of
Yeah.
times and
Does anybody know how to find that information out? If you do, can you just let me know? Anybody out there in the, watching this Zoom or live? Can you please let us know? 'Cause I don't know how to figure out that information. I don't know if it just started with the QR code, how it got registered, because I didn't create the QR code.
It's dependent on how you do the QR code when it's created.
Okay, and I asked that question and I don't think that happened. So I don't think we're gonna get done. Apologize, but going forward, maybe we do another set, we'll change that QR code.
Cause I think you still have the LTAC money. Haven't got your paperwork for the second. Round of LTAC. The 5,000 they awarded,
I sent that to you on June 10th.
we haven't dispersed that to you yet.
I sent that paperwork to you on June 10th. I can check.
you know what, it's a Google feedback. Thing, and we might actually have to buy part of Google,
Okay, okay.
so
Could you, so I,
we,
could you help me figure that out?
maybe.
Okay.
I haven't dealt with Google in only 15 years, so,
Okay.
but that's what it is, and it comes up, Shelley just scanned the copy, and when I looked at the thing, it says feedback to Google, so it's well connected.
Okay. All right. Anyway, those are done. I'm gonna remove this from our to-do list. Any questions though about the park map flyers? I think they turned out really good.
They're very nice.
Good, okay. All right, moving on to basketball court, just, the foundation is still waiting from the public works to let us know what kind of backboards they would like, that we purchased to replace those. And then they were going to finish the striping of the basketball court, so we're just kind of in a holding pattern there. Any questions on the basketball court? Oh, this might be a fast meeting. Okay, the Parks Board bylaws, we presented these last month, but it was requested that we wait and we read them to see, if we have any questions on them. So here they are again, the second time. Becky, Carrie, are you really the one specific wanted to wait and take a look at this again
I propose that we approve those
as they're written?
as are written. When I went back and looked at the code for the city hasn't been updated since 1974. So I would think that maybe some work on code might happen.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about the board bylaws as they are now?
Pretty straightforward.
Okay, so let's take a vote then, vote to, accept the board bylaws as, need a motion for that?
Motion.
Okay, need a second? Okay, all in favor? Okay, so that's seven, okay, seven of those online. No, they are not online. So would you rather not?
I would just like a copy.
Yeah, that's fine. That is motion and passed, and so we'll send them off to the mayor to take a look and see if he approves. All right, thanks, you guys. Moving on, I have no new business. I have no discussion. Report. Richard, do you have anything to report from the council? Okay, great. Reports for us. So I'll start. So I've been busy today specifically, it's about 2.5 hours distributing the maps to a lot of the hotels and motels. They were really well received. So, I'll continue to do that. It's really not taking as long as I thought it was gonna take. I met with, Jeff and Shelley. We walked the Chinook Park and remapped the walking path. Let's see. It's really about what, that's about right. Becky, what do you, not a thing? Okay, all right. Chris, anything special to report?
There's a bunch of trash on the River North Canal.
Oh, that's. Okay.
I got a question. So how many flyers are did each?
You know, I just gave everybody a stack, so, the busier hotels, I gave it a stack too. I thought about individually counting those out. I started to do it the other night.
Is it a call us when you need more?
It was, yeah. Attach the foundation's, business card with our email and sent to email us. They run
Cool. Thank you
Yeah.
for doing that.
10,000.
Do you have more that you need distributed? You want me to take some and do some?
Yeah, thank you, though. I appreciate that.
Maybe at the,
Oh, can I put some on the table at the city market or not? I mean, that's up to you.
Let me distribute first if you have any, but. LTAC.
Okay,
I'm gonna make
okay.
sure that. Okay, so, Bill, do you have anything just general to report?
Yeah, I spoke with Gary Johnson about Milo, the playground equipment coming to Lions Milo Shop, right in part.
Mhm.
And their tentative date right now is the end of this month, but he said it's tentative. But they're expecting to get started, possibly.
Thanks for calling him. I appreciate that. Jeff,
you should be aware. It's like, savings and the parks, a lot of parks properties are late, and I think everyone should know that you should be on board. Keep the harvesting as much as possible, so it's through the park properties as much as possible. I think that you might have mentioned it. Part of it, somebody mentioned it, it's impossible. So I don't know if I can speak or not.
I don't know, depends,
But generally. Keep the harvesting is motives and parks can do. And we should clear it to the city that we want to do that.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, because they got the boat launches through the parks, so. And you walk the park with Shelby.
She also arranged a meeting for challenge ADA handicap and yeah.
Okay.
But did some general cleanup north of the day before July.
Oh, good, okay. Great, thank you, Shelley.
Had the wonderful opportunity to hear from some of the folks in our community that have a lot of experience with special needs. With all of the controversy surrounding the wheelchair wing, I checked with Kristen and she gave me a green light to go ahead and pull together a group of folks and have a discussion, kind of pinpoint what some of the concerns were in an organized way. So it's up to you guys to just read. I got like a page and a half of summary from that conversation group. It was on June 26th and we met at Chinook Park on a rainy day. So I started with thanks to everyone who attended. Sharon Hummer, special needs parent and advocate. Her adult son Stephen has severe autism and is mostly in a wheelchair, but can be mobile in the right circumstances. Sharon has also worked as a caretaker. Allison Klein, special education teacher, working in the field since 1995 and a champion for kids. Susie Sakamoto, special needs parent of Rosalie. Rosalie was the only wheelchair student at Ocean Shores Elementary School as she recently learned to walk. She currently uses a walker for support. She has 3 active little brothers and loves to play outside.
Jeff Byerly, Parks Board member and builder of parks. Jeff has installed sports fields and parks throughout Washington and California and has experience with ADA issues. Before getting into specific park elements, the group discussed the philosophy of inclusion. This is creating spaces that help disabled children feel like they are included with activities of able-bodied children with cooperative play rather than isolated play. Then we talked about the wheelchair swing. Everyone agrees the intention of the swing is great. It acknowledges the need for special attention on special needs. This style of swing is more typically seen in clinical settings like a hospital or physical therapy center. The intention of the swing is appreciated, but there are some practical problems. One, safety concerns. While the city has added several wheelchair logos on the gate, it is still likely children will push through the gate anyway and play unsupervised. The swing has steel chains that can be unlatched and create a hazard. The swing is quite heavy and unsupervised children or teenagers could be injured playing on the device. The recommendation, one parent advocates to remove the swing entirely. Another parent suggests a sign is needed on the swing itself. 2, ground covering under the swing. While it may be ADA compliant, it is not practical to maneuver a chair over the thick bark. Also, the bark gets stuck in the wheels of the chair. Recommendation, remove the bark and install rubber mats or artificial turf. 3, the placement of the swing isolates the rider from other children. It should have been placed closer to the able-bodied playground equipment. In the current location, it is difficult for a parent to swing their special needs child and also monitor their able-bodied children on the play structure. Recommendation, relocate the swing so it is on the other side of the new swing set. If that isn't possible, an additional gate should be installed on the other side so a parent can quickly get to the play structure in case of a fall. 4, there is no way to lock the wheelchair onto the swing unless the chair itself already has locking wheels, and not all chairs have that feature. 5, initially there was concern about the swing being too small for an adult wheelchair. However, after manipulating the swing a bit, we saw how it was possible, except in circumstances where a rider needs to keep their legs elevated. 6, the direction of the swing is awkward. A caregiver wheel a chair from the ADA sidewalk directly onto the swing. It is necessary to pivot around the swing. Once on the swing, the rider is facing either the lake or the dog. Riders feel isolated because they are not in the direct line of sight of other children. Recommendation, rotate the swing. 7, concern that the city did not invite special needs caretakers to be a part of the swing selection process. There is an ADA swing with the other swing, so why was this particular swing chosen? There are other options that encourage inclusivity, such as an expression swing or a We Go swing that promotes all children playing together. Recommendation, consider creating a user committee of parents, caretakers, and ADA experts to advise the future playground equipment selections. ADA compliance is one thing, but a user experience should also be taken into consideration. In its current state, one parent will not be using the swing because of the ground cover and safety concerns. The other parent is willing to try it, but feels confident her child will prefer the ADA swing that is integrated into the other bank of swings. There is no counter on the swing gate, so we have no way of knowing how often it is being used. The group feels that it's valuable to find a way to bridge the wheelchair swing and the other play structure together to promote inclusivity between able-bodied and wheelchair kids. The half basketball court seems like a good location to create activities that all children can do together. The existing basketball pole, backboard, and hoop are in poor condition, and the placement creates a hazard when loose balls bounce onto the new play structure. The court could be reimagined into a truly integrated, active space for kids of all abilities. Some of the ideas we had were creating Foursquare, Florence Lava, hopscotch, a wheelchair trail, all kinds of things. If there's interest from the city, this committee is willing to research and make recommendations for appropriate activities for all kids in that space. There were a few additional thoughts that didn't fit anywhere else. One suggestion was to add rubber mats on top of the bar so a wheelchair can easily access the elements on the play structure. Place picnic tables as close to the play equipment as possible, so the 2 existing picnic tables be moved. And finally, the drinking fountain, it feels short. There were questions about whether it is ADA compliant. And that was my discussion group. These folks were great. They really spoke from the heart. We were in there moving stuff around and, they're really committed to creating accessible, integrated spaces for our kids.
Thank you for doing that. We appreciate it. Thank you for the volunteers that step forward to help me bring insight, especially, from, it sounded like you had people from all different levels. You had employed in the special needs and family members and those that build the park. So thank you for spearheading that. I appreciate that. Those are some really good feedback. So,
Where do we take this information then?
well, we just.
Can we attach it with the minutes of this meeting, so at least it moves forward? And
Absolutely.
folks are on record. Having,
Yeah, I absolutely can do that. Yep.
yay.
Did you guys talk about getting back together
Well, kind of waiting to get a green light from somebody if more feedback is wanted. The folks in the group were willing to work more on a plan for that basketball half court. But we need to wait until there's interest.
So this would go up
When?
to, so green light, who would say,
Administration.
Okay.
Administration.
What was the name of the group that you just chaired? What did you call yourself?
I call this a special needs at Chinook Park discussion group.
When did you do that?
That was June 26th.
So I was out yesterday, and I don't know if do we want to just jump, because the only thing I have to say under my part is we do have new signage out.
Yes.
And it changes a lot because now we have a wheelchair placard that's about 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet on the gate. And there's an additional sign that says, the swing is for all ages, not intended for children. And it goes into details about the conditions that are using the swing. So I don't think it's really not a children's swing. It's, for
All ages.
all, yeah, it's not surprising to me. I'm still concerned about the mechanics of how you get, a person who's, say, 300 pounds. And I've worked with these folks in a 300-pound mechanical wheelchair on a swing, and I'm pretty sure that the load limit on that swing is 495 pounds.
I think it's more than that. It felt like it was 700.
Yeah, I think it's.
So,
It's more than.
we should have that probably posted too, the limitations for
Okay, weight limit.
weight limit.
And that, I haven't been on the receiving side. So I'm just.
The new things look really good.
No, I'm gonna assume that.
It's not.
Okay.
I look,
I didn't know.
the other thing that's still not clear to me is how you secure the chair. Because there's multiple double-ended clips. And when I messed with it, I used to call the clips apart. Just to see what I can do. I'm not sure. It doesn't look to me like any of those clips go on the wheelchair itself. But also, it's got what we call 3-penny logging chain that wouldn't secure a 700-pound chair to tilting.
Well, I mean, maybe what. I mean, we can all talk all day, but we don't have a wheelchair. We're not actually trying to secure. We really don't. We don't have an answer. So we need somebody to give us feedback using it. As it's intended. Yeah. To give us feedback. So, I mean, it may look hard, but maybe it's not as hard one.
No, it's not. I mean, when you look at, you look at that, there's only this much space to.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, and that was one of the feedbacks.
Yeah.
To reposition it, so, okay.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know if we can reposition it, but maybe one of the things could be just to make that area larger. Like,
Well,
toward,
it's the direction. You're going through the gate,
okay,
you have to pivot the wheelchair around in order to load it onto the swing.
okay.
And that,
To get approved, to have a group go in and look, maybe make these two areas more compliant, the ball court suggested, the group suggested, and kind of look at that whole or just the swing itself.
I think both. I think it was, we talked about that half basketball court, because you know, what we've been told, is that there's no funding to move that back. And so right now, as it is, right, we're concerned that into the playground equipment, but instead of keeping it as a basketball court, do we just remove that and repurpose that top or something that's multi-use? And that was one of the topics was, do we do a four story? Do we do a hopscotch? Do we do something that's, you know, with the wheelchairs?
Gate, so that we, instead of having just one gate, we have,
On the wheelchair swing.
right,
Very good.
because that will give you optimal,
Moving the gate would be easier. Adding the gate.
yeah.
Well, that was one of the suggestions,
Yeah.
instead of another gate, let's add it.
Okay, yeah, because you're looking at.
I feel like it's a level of detail that we can't really go over in this meeting,
Right,
but
yeah.
we need it.
We need a starting.
I got a great group started here, and if the city has interest in hearing more feedback about how we can tweak the wheelchair swing, then we can do that.
Yeah.
And if there's interest in getting the blacktop reimagined into something for all children to use in a creative way, then we're
Right.
happy to do research and provide
And I
suggestions.
like the idea too, so we're not just focusing back on the swing, we're moving forward and saying, hey, let's make this a little more compliant and more acceptable, and let's use
Yeah.
these resources. So it's kind of a new direction for forward.
Exactly. And we have to be careful about the word compliant, because there's ADA compliance, but then what I was hearing from these folks is there's the practical day-to-day use of things. It may be compliant, but it's still very, very difficult, and it will keep people away if it's not easy to navigate over wood chips or whatever. So kind of honoring what their physical experience is with equipment.
Well, I'm sure there's a minimum compliance.
Right.
So you go above it. You said then your advice would be the perfect one to say,
Yeah,
this is compliant, but this would be easier.
yeah.
More use.
Yeah.
User friendly.
Absolutely. Shelley, thanks. Really
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
It was an honor to meet these folks, really.
Connie, you're new, so no park board reports for you yet, but next month, be prepared. Unless you have something to report, I shouldn't, okay. Public Works Liaison, they're busy today, they're with, so. Public comment, this is the opportunity to comment, one more time about the Parks Board and what we've been talking about, and as always, I always start with those that are on Zoom. So Vita, I'm coming back to you.
What was the question?
Opportunity to comment for 3 minutes if you would like.
Oh, nothing's changed since the beginning of the meeting. Thank you, Kristen. Have a great day.
All right, thanks, Vita. Jane Shattuck, I see you're online, so 3-minute comment if you'd like.
Hi, Kristen, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, the audio is really terrible. I came in late to the meeting, and so just something I heard when I came in, we're talking about inclusivity and all of that, but yet the concern was always brought forward about the kids that weren't in wheelchairs getting on the swing and all of that. And pardon me if I missed part of that discussion because I did come in late, but that is a concern is from the beginning. Everybody was worried about children climbing on the swing, and then we're talking about the inclusion. So just a little bit of clarity on that. And if you don't want to get into it or you already touched it, that's fine. Just let me know because I can go back and listen to the recording. But that's all for now.
Okay. Jane, did you want to know what we discussed? What was discussed with the inclusivity and what was discussed? We just said that they did hang new signs. The new signs are hanging on the wheelchair swing.
So since I missed the first part of it, and I don't want you to have to go revisit it at this time, I'll go back and listen to the recording, and then I'll just submit via email if I have more questions. But that was just a point that at first we were worried about. Concerns were about hazardous and safety, and then we're talking about inclusive. Sorry. Thank you so much. So that was my only thing there. But let me go back and listen because, like I said, I don't want you having to revisit everything just because of my poor timing. So
Okay,
Thank you.
if you have any questions, you can call or email me.
Yes, thank
okay.
you.
Yeah, Allison, do you have a comment?
I just want to say thank you to all you guys for all the work. Skate park looks great, Chinook Park is amazing. And just thanks for all your hard work.
Ms. Gina?
So I also want to thank you for going out and walk the park, and it's definitely an improvement. And I know that it takes a lot of time and effort to be on a committee, but I was sorely disappointed in the tenor of the meeting and the way that it was talked about last month, and I really think that as a committee chair, the responsibility is on you to know what your job is. And you were appointed, and I feel like you didn't get the best tutelage on what your job was. And you had a tremendous amount of pressure and job responsibility on this. And I just felt like I didn't expect the way the meeting went last month, or the comments, or the fact that the entire board was not included in that letter. And it just wasn't a class act, and you normally are. And this whole group normally is. And so I just felt like, I hope that there's some remedial discussion about how this goes forward. And as a city advisory committee, everybody here has to have their own separate email address that is able to be put for a PDR, a public disclosure request. Your conversations, everything that you do is an extension of the city, even though it's not your job. And that you don't have the authority to go ahead and make the decisions. You can certainly recommend. And I just expect that be the expectation held is higher, and you had set the bar high. I just would like to see it come back up to that.
Okay. Yeah. Andy. Jeff? No, okay. Yeah, I think that's it. All right. Park inspection reports, Spinnaker. Spinnaker. And then, Southeast Grand Canal, the only concern I had the other day, I think it was my understanding, and I'll ask Public Works a question, but it was my understanding that it was locked at night. But it's not, so it's open 365, so. Maybe a season clarification, but it's unlocked all the time, so. It looked fine. So, Chris, you have Northeast Grand Canal and Emerson.
They look good, but said there's some trash at. No.
Okay. Just email them. So. Good. Bill, so you had reached out to Mileage, they're gonna install it. Do they need a shout out for the volunteer install?
I caught Gary right in the middle of his dinner. He was cooking.
Oh, okay.
Spent a little, a short time. I told him I'd call later. I'd asked that question, but, he just really didn't have time to talk about it. I think they probably would appreciate it. I'll check, see what they want.
Okay.
But the park actually, since they took down the metal poles and the caution tape,
Yeah,
looks a lot better.
I saw this.
Yeah, so not bad. And then the skate park, look good, some new panels have been replaced, they still have construction materials behind the half pipe. So they probably need to be removed at some point.
Oh, okay.
And the squeegee and broom are still there. So, good news.
That is good. All right, thanks. So the tape and the construction comes.
No, the pants themselves on the pack. So
Oh.
it's probably 5, 6 pants. So
Okay.
that was yesterday. Might have been gone. Might be gone.
I'm either today, but I didn't look behind.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's right in front of the squeegee room.
Oh, okay. Great. Thank you. Becky, you have Chinook and Gunderson. You talked a little bit about Chinook.
Yeah, Gunderson looks good. They cleaned up the broken lawn furniture that was stuck out there.
Okay,
It looks great. There is one pop-up sprinkler in Chinook that looks defective, and it's gonna cause a problem for me.
did you know where it's located?
It's square in the middle, if you drew a star, between the dog park and the basketball court and the parking lots, like square in the middle, and it's sticking up about 6 inches.
Okay.
It just isn't retracting like it should,
Okay,
and probably needs to be replaced, or I look at, I can get it
To get it down.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that you know the mower's gonna hit.
yeah, okay.
Someone's gonna trip over. Yeah, and that's gonna be expensive if it does. Signage looks great. But it's pretty foreboding, like, I wouldn't get on that swing if I saw that. New sign, bathrooms look fantastic, I don't know who's cleaning the bathrooms in the city, but they should come to my house. I've never seen our bathrooms this clean.
Oh, and it's been almost a year, so that's a good sign.
Yeah. Absolutely full of toilet.
Can we find out who does that?
And send them a Andrea.
And
And. She did a good job.
Can I piggyback on Chinook for just a quick sec? Because I had grandkids the first time since the new park installed, and we've been over there a few times, it's close to my house. The goat pets are out of control.
You're right, you're exactly right, and we had our dog out and picked her up
Yeah.
because the dogs, they got in our pets and.
County council, they are going to start. I don't know if it's a day late to that, or I don't know. Watering, so just keep your fingers crossed that we're not too late.
I saw a lot of goat heads in York now too,
Yeah, well, they don't. Chinook and.
but I think you're gonna spray all the parks.
We have sprayed the parks.
They have to water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
keep the water,
yeah.
keep the
Yeah,
water.
I had no luck keeping goat heads out of my yard,
Yeah.
except burn and water.
Picking them out of grandchildren's hair and their
Yeah.
shoes and their shoulders. And
That's awful.
well, because they roll on the ground, you know.
We're still, every time I'm out at my house, I see the dogs that are not on leads.
People just don't follow the rules. We can put up every sign, but people are just. It's unfortunate, but. I've been there too. Yeah, I know. Jeff, you have North Bay and Limpet.
Limpet, really nothing to report there. It's been mowed, there's no litter, I don't think it's being used. I do think they decided to use it as stage for the harvesting of weeds. I guess it should be signed, or neighbor should be told, or.
It's pretty steep.
Still pretty steep, but I think they haven't. Bringing it back and just running a hose down to the
Oh, okay.
container and sucking it up, would still. Back, yeah.
Where do they dump that stuff that they take out?
Dump.
I'm
I know
curious.
it's been discussed, and they. Where that place is, I was wondering. Seems like the city needs to be in compost.
Interesting. Once it's dry, it go now.
North Bay, been there a couple times, I did go by there this morning, and negative is the men's toilet. Stuck. If you want to find that, maybe somebody can get by there. Some maintenance person.
I'll email the public works
But
director.
she, I've said this before, I'll say, I'm gonna have to talk to her, and she said it's, constant vandalism. string, and he should.
Yeah, so I did talk to Becky Leach and they had ordered the time locks and they came, but they were the wrong ones for the door. So they had to send them back and reorder, and she said that she would work on that after the 4th of July week. Because it was busy with Public Works last week, but everybody was all hands on deck last week, so. They are.
Litter was good, we all know there's a lot of weeds growing on the lawn. I don't think there's any irrigation. If there is, I can't find it. The weeds are overtaking infield, and if, yeah, so yes, the ability to spray, maybe that could be people that get worse, and, definitely. It's people, and, looks good. Weeds are growing, grass.
Thanks. You had Marine View and Texmar.
Yes, Pixar is fine, the same every time. Marine View, there is some weeds and things that are growing up around the sign that has the no swimming designation on it. Yeah, so that should.
And then, I did notice, I drove by there today and there's, a lot of weeds growing in the sign itself, in the oyster bed. Yeah, a lot, cattails and just some bigger weeds that I've never seen before, so.
I remember Sean saying that they were spraying those. But Sean's no longer.
Yeah, I don't know, I'll just let them know. Okay, so the no swimming sign,
Yeah,
okay. All right, since we do have, a 7th member, so I will be, kind of reassigning some parks, so just kind of be on the lookout for that email from me soon. And then, future meeting date is, August 14th, 2024 at 1 o'clock. I'm gonna be on Zoom, so I've asked Shelley Johnson that she's gonna be here to actually run the meeting, since it's a lot easier for somebody to run it up there in here specifically versus on Zoom, so she said that she would run that meeting, but I will be here, I'll just be on Zoom. Okay, need a motion to adjourn at 1:42.
I have just one more thing. On Tuesday, the 2nd of July, a 5th grader from our elementary school actually wrote an editorial asking for baseball leagues. Yeah, I mean, a well-written letter too. Did anybody else? Did you want to read it? It's really cute.
Oh, that's nice, all right.
Yeah, his name's Gunnar Mondor.
Okay.
Yeah,
Better.
yeah.
Okay, so it's 1:42. I still need a motion to adjourn the
I'll
meeting.
make that.
Second, all in favor? You guys?